hello, and rise up. Welcome to the show. I'm Coy Wire. This is CNN 10. Happy Friday. In addition to our news for Friday, October 10th, 10/10, we're highlighting some of you today, the best viewers in the world, and we can't wait. First, we're going to lock in, though, and get you your news. Get it, got it, good. Let's go. Huge breaking news yesterday as Israel and Hamas agreed to a ceasefire deal. The first phase of a U.S. brokered ceasefire plan will allow for the release of all living hostages in Gaza. 20 remaining hostages are believed to be alive. Also, Israeli troops will be withdrawing to an agreed-upon line, which means from most of Gaza, and some Palestinian prisoners will be released as well. The deal between Hamas and Israel was moderated by officials from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey. U.S. President Donald Trump praised them for their assistance and said the hostages are likely to be released on Monday. His announcement did not address some sticking points in the proposal, including Hamas disarmament and governance of Gaza.
We ended the war in Gaza and really, on a much bigger basis, created peace. And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace. Peace in the Middle East.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will convene his government to vote on the agreement. The first phase of the deal can only proceed if the cabinet votes in favor. And while the agreement has been met with celebration in Israel and Gaza, some are concerned a comprehensive peace deal may still not materialize.
One woman's prayers of thanks that the war is ending as phase one of the Gaza ceasefire plan is agreed. What sounds like celebratory gunfire is heard in the distance. As the sun rises, Gazan residents assess their new reality. I feel joy, this man says. 2 years of torment and repression, displacement, lack of food and water. I'm happy the war will end. The bleeding we see every day will end. The nightmares we see. This 70-year-old woman says, it's true, I'm happy in the moment, but now we feel the pain of our memories. I lost my daughters, my brother's daughters, and their children. Most of our family died and our homes were destroyed. This man voices concern. He says, we have seen ceasefires before that lasted 2 months and then the war returned. It's true, I am extremely happy, but my joy is tinged with caution and fear. Despite the hope of the promised surge in humanitarian aid, the harsh reality of Gaza has not changed. 2 years ago, 12-year-old Mohammed Abu Amra was in school. He's now 14, and this is his life in Gaza, sifting through rotting waste to find anything that he can sell to help his family survive. We collect wood and plastic for fires, he says. There's nothing else to light a fire with. 2 years ago, before the war, I didn't even know what a garbage dump was. There are 11 people to feed in his family. He says 2 of his brothers were killed by a drone strike after being displaced from Gaza City. This is Al-Mawasi in Khan Yunis, an area the Israeli military has forced hundreds of thousands of Gazans to move to over the course of this war. This is the area Israel calls a, quote, humanitarian zone. Hopes that peace will last this time are palpable across Gaza, but also tainted by previous disappointments. A peace that some in Gaza have never even known. Paula Hancock's CNN, Abu Dhabi.
Next, we go to the latest announcement of this year's Nobel Prizes, those annual esteemed awards bestowed upon those who embody greatness in their fields. The Nobel Prize in Literature goes to Hungarian novelist László Krisna-Horkai, whose dark and difficult novels have drawn him praise for being the, quote, master of the apocalypse. The 71-year-old was born in Hungary just before the Hungarian Revolution in the 1950s, which was met by decades of brutal Soviet repression during the Cold War.
You can say that it's an extension maybe of the European modernist kind of epic writing that we have seen so many examples of before. But it takes it to new heights, if you can call it that.
His first novel was published in 1985, before the fall of the Berlin Wall. His ensuing works have drawn widespread acclaim for their bleak and visceral depiction of life in the region. Pop quiz, hot shot. Which soda brand was originally marketed as a cure for indigestion? Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, 7-Up, or Coca-Cola? If you said Pepsi, keep popping. The name comes from the word pepsin, an enzyme which aids in food digestion. However, Pepsi never actually contained pepsin. The carbonation in soda, though, may make you feel temporarily less bloated. In California, school lunches across the state are set to become healthier after some landmark legislation. Governor Gavin Newsom signed the Real Food Healthy Kids Act into law this week. It will define and ultimately ban ultra-processed foods from the 1 billion meals served to school children across the state each year. A recent CDC report showed that kids in the U.S. get nearly 2/3 of their calories from ultra-processed foods, which are packed with additives, high-calorie sugars, salts, and fats. The California law will require public health officials and scientists to identify which of those foods are most harmful to human health, and they will be officially phased out of school lunches by 2035. In space news, turns out it's pretty difficult to land on Mars. 2 older landers got knocked out of commission due to the red planet's so-called dust devils. But now, scientists are learning how to avoid them. They looked into data from 2 orbiters regarding the planet's tornadoes, which hurl large amounts of dust into the Martian atmosphere. And they realized that the twisters are stronger and raised more dust than they previously thought. So they're hopeful now that they'll be able to find better landing spots for probes on future missions to Mars. Today's story getting a 10 out of 10.
Little girl threw out her muñecas.